If you can't tell by the title and probably thumbnail of this video, I'm doing something a little bit different this month for my TBR picking method. I love doing the TBR prompt jar method. It's what I've done consistently probably since like August of last year, and every month I like think about trying something different, but I always come back to I just love making them. Like, it's so much fun. So there is a video concept that I have seen done a couple of times in a couple different ways. The first two that came to mind when I was thinking about doing this was Larry Reed's video and Alexa Ray's video, in which they chose their TBR and related it to Taylor Swift songs. So that's what I'm gonna do, considering we're getting a new Taylor album this month, like in a couple weeks. April is her month. April is her month. I want to pay my respects, you know? First of all, I want to say I have to have my blinds open for the lighting right now, and if you see the sunlight hitting my books directly, avert your eyes, okay? I have to do it for the sake of this video. The sun is setting in like an hour. It's gonna be fine. Most of the time I have these blinds closed. Anyways, I'm doing it in a slightly different way than I've seen it done before. The way Larry did it was I'm pretty sure she just had like specific songs that she felt like related to books on her TBR. And then Alexa Ray had like a Taylor Swift reading challenge from Pinterest, which is honestly very smart. She drew like the specific song names and then it related to a specific prompt. My way is maybe a little bit more complicated, and honestly is probably going to involve me jumping through a lot of hoops and probably like doing a lot of things that don't make sense. So like, please don't ask me why I chose to do this, because I don't know. But basically, in this cat mug, which I am using because obviously, I have a bunch of really generic prompts. They honestly read more like scavenger hunt prompts for like a scavenger hunt video like me and my friend Maddie did last month or 2 months ago. They're very broad and open-ended because they're going to be directly controlled by whatever Taylor Swift song comes on shuffle when I shuffle my entire comprehensive Taylor Swift playlist. I was experimenting earlier and seeing how often it worked and how often it failed, and it was pretty much like an equal distribution. It really just depends on what prompt I pick and what song comes on shuffle, obviously. So I did put like 2 freebies in here just in case, like where I can pick how I want to relate the song to any of the books on here. But I have every single book pretty much on my physical TBR on this cart on the front and the back. Whereas the top I have like my priority 2024 books, and then honestly this bottom row is like every book that I could think of that might relate to a Taylor Swift song in one way or another, and then all the rest of them are on the back, so I might have to do some spinning. Anyways, it's not a hard concept to grasp, it just might be a hard concept for me to execute, and we're about to find out. So anyways, I just feel like there's such a huge intersection of like booktube girlies and Swifties. I had to do it. I mean, it's a Taylor Swift month. The Taylor Swift album release month. If ever there was a time, it was now. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I said the sun is going down soon, so if the lighting changes significantly, I'm really sorry. I'm really nervous that this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna pick the prompt first. Oh, and I'm gonna do 7, I think, because I did 8 last month and I did a really bad job of getting to all of them. And also this month is gonna be busier for me like in real life context. I'm gonna see how this goes, because if it's really hard to relate the songs to the books, I might do less. But I'm gonna say 7. Okay, so prompt number 1. A book that relates to one of the song's lyrics. Okay, this is a good one. This is a good, like I said, like that is a super generic prompt, and honestly some of them are like lyric or title specific. Some of them are really generic in terms of like letters in common, numbers in common, that kind of thing, and then some of them are related to like vibes. This is a good one to start. I'm gonna have to put on like my analytical hat and see if I can make it work. Yeah, okay, so a book that relates to one of the song's lyrics. Ready? Here we go. Okay, the first song is Betty. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the lyrics because obviously we're gonna need to do some analyzing, some correlation making. I'm gonna have to use my brain is what I'm saying. Okay, well this is it's from a boy's perspective. It's high schoolers. He cheated on her and he wants her back. I'm 17, I don't know anything. Here's the thing. I don't have any YA, I don't think. That puts a little wrench in things. I know that Something Borrowed by Emily Giffin is about a girl who sleeps with her best friend's fiance. I don't know, I think I'm supposed to do specifically the lyrics, like not even necessarily like the story. So like specifically in the lyrics, I saw you dance with him, showed up on your doorstep. Well, Something Borrowed is a romance. Supposedly. I actually hate this movie, like a lot. I hate it a lot. I think every character in it is insufferable. But it says Rachel White is a consummate good girl, hardworking attorney at a large Manhattan law firm, and a diligent maid of honor to her charmed best friend, Darcy. Rachel has always played by all the rules. Since grade school, she's watched Darcy shine, quietly accepting the sidekick role in their lopsided friendship. That suddenly changes the night of her 30th birthday when Rachel finally confesses her feelings for Darcy's fiance and is both horrified and thrilled to discover that he feels the same way. And then they start dating behind Darcy's back. I hate this movie. I hate this movie. Everyone's insufferable and everyone's lying and cheating. But the reason I own the book is because I've heard that people say that in the book, like, you have people's like motivations, and so people say it's a little bit easier to sympathize with them. And then there's a second book that was never made into a movie that continues the story and like kind of rights some wrongs that were made in the first one, which is why I wanted to read this. I kind of feel like this is the only thing I have that I like know enough about the story to say that it fits. The only other thing I can think of is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, because in her 20s, Emma Blair marries her high school sweetheart Jesse. Wait, okay. On their first wedding anniversary, he goes missing, she meets somebody else, she falls in love, and then her first love, her first husband, shows back up. Don't feel like, see, like, none of these fit perfectly. Neither of these fit perfectly. This is hard. I knew this was gonna be hard. There is infidelity in here, which is what happens in the Betty Cardigan August love triangle, as we all know. Maybe I'll do something borrowed. The last line of the summary of this book, it says, Rachel knows she must make a choice between her heart and her conscience. In doing so, she discovers that the lines between right and wrong can be blurry. Endings aren't always neat, and sometimes you have to risk everything to be true to yourself. So I think I have to do something borrowed, unfortunately. Like, I have been dreading getting to this book for so long. It's fine. It's fine. I need to get it off my physical TBR, and honestly, maybe if I don't get to it this month and I can't push myself to read it, maybe it's a sign that it's time to unhaul it. We'll see. Maybe I'll like it so much more than the movie. I think I should give it a try, and then if I DNF it, then I'll unhaul it. But anyways, it's gonna be book number 1, and it goes with Betty. Right off the bat, one that I have been putting off. Good thing and a bad thing, double-edged sword. Book number 1, and I know that this is hurting some people seeing the light hit my books. I'm really sorry. Book number 2, a book with the same number of words in its title. Okay, this is an easier one, less brain power required, so here we go. Okay, we got Shake It Off. So that is 3 words, obviously. It feels kind of silly to be like using songs in a way to be doing this, because then when I end up picking a book that has nothing to do with the song that led me there, it's just gonna feel kind of weird, because like already, like right off the bat with Shake It Off having 3 words, I was like, okay, These Violent Delights. I don't think that vibe-wise is anywhere near Shake It Off. That's okay. That's like not the point. It's fine, but you get it. I actually have so many books that have 3 words in the title. We have These Violent Delights, Dance of Thieves, which I picked up for a second this month, and I tried to start it because it was on my monthly TBR, and I just wasn't in the mood for it. Like, I could tell right off the bat. I put it to the side. I only made it like 10 or 15 pages in, and I want to get to it. I do. I just like wasn't in the right mood. So we have Dance of Thieves, we have The Starless Sea, The Atlas Six, A Little Life, Chain of Gold. I have been dying to get back into the Shadowhunters world. So Chain of Gold is looking super interesting to me right now, especially because she is on my 24 books in 2024 list, and I did not make the progress that I wanted to make on that list this month. So I have some catching up to do, and I would love to do Chain of Gold. So keeping her in the back of my mind, we have The Night Circus, Lessons in Chemistry, The Bell Jar, One True Loves, and I think that's it. Well, I think I have to do Chain of Gold. Like, I have been wanting to get to this for quite some time, and I love being in the Shadowhunters world. Like, I think it's time. I always put off starting Shadowhunters series because, like, once I'm in it, it's very hard for me to not just want to binge the series all at once. And oftentimes I have other things that I need to read in a month. I get really sucked in. I think it's time. I miss this world. I'm really excited to finish this series because I'm so excited for the one that I know is coming next. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do Chain of Gold, which is the first book in the Last Hour series, which is the 4th Shadowhunter series. If you're unfamiliar, the Shadowhunter series is a huge collection of novels by Cassandra Clare, and basically it follows different families of these people called Shadowhunters. They hunt and kill demons to protect the world, and there's also vampires, there's werewolves, there's warlocks, it's just like a very elaborate magical world, and depending on which series you're in different time period, spending time with different characters, and this one is set in England, and I think it's placed in the late 1800s, early 1900s. I've heard nothing but incredible things about this. I always love these books, and I'm very excited. So this is gonna be book number 2, which goes with Shake It Off, which honestly thematically probably has nothing to do with it, but who knows because I haven't read the book. Prompt number 3, and it's probably gonna be another one that requires some brain power. Let's see. A book cover with elements that match imagery from the song. Okay, very interesting, and honestly could be limited by what song we get, because some of Taylor's songs, obviously she's very much known for being like a storyteller. Some of her songs have very elaborate imagery in them. They're very like metaphorical, you know, creating this whole world, and some of them are not. So let's see what we get. Are we ready? Okay. Okay, this is actually very good. Invisible String. So These lyrics are actually very image focused, which is great. Green was the color of the grass where I used to read at Centennial Park right off the bat. Teal was the color of your shirt when you were 16 at the yogurt shop. I'm curious time, blah, 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 blah. Bad was the blood of the song in the cab on your first trip to LA. You ate at my favorite spot for dinner. Gold was based on our 3-year trip getting lunch down by the lakes. She said I looked like an American singer. Out of all the wrong arms, right into that dive bar. Something wrapped all my past mistakes in barbed wire. Chains around my demons. Wool to brave the seasons. One single thread of gold tied me to you. Gold was the color of the leaves. Oh my god. Gold was the color of the leaves when I showed you around Centennial Park. Hell was a journey, but it brought me heaven. Time wonders time. Gave me the blues and then purple pink skies. Okay, another one. Okay, I have a couple of options for this already. This is so good. Okay. This is a great one to get for this. Okay, let me pull the ones I'm thinking of. So I have 2 books that immediately came to mind that worked with lyrics from the song. So first of all, Time Wondrous Time gave me the blues and then purple pink skies. So House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. These are purple pink skies. These are purple pink skies. If I ever did see some, I would say purple pink skies matches imagery from the song very nicely. So we have that one. And then also a little bit earlier in the song, she says, gold was the color of the leaves when I showed you around Centennial Park. And I have You Again, which has a bunch of golden leaves. A bunch of golden leaves. I think that this is supposed to be Central Park. They're still in a park and it's golden leaves. I would say that that also matches imagery from the story. So these are our 2 options. I think, considering with Taylor's songs, I have quite a big chance of getting a lot of romance related books, and Something Borrowed is already on there and that is a romance. I think I might do House in the Cerulean Sea because from what I know, You Again is a romance also with problematic characters, which is what Something Borrowed is. And I don't know that I can do that twice in 1 month. So putting her back. And I think I'm gonna go with The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, which is another book that's on my 24 in 2024 list. From what I know, this is like a cozy fantasy. It's sweet, it's wholesome. It's about a man that works for the department in charge of magical youth. And he gets an assignment to travel to an orphanage on a distant island and determine whether 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous, in fact, they're likely to bring about the end of days. So I think it ends up being just this quirky older man that's always been a bit of a loner, sort of finding family with these 6 orphan children, which just sounds adorable and incredibly wholesome and very sweet. And I've never read a cozy fantasy before, so I'm very intrigued to see how I feel about it. Also, I'm just obsessed with the cover, the purple pink skies. It's just great. It's really good. Okay, I'm really excited. So book number 3. Number 4 is a book that matches the vibe of the song or its album. Okay, this is very broad and I get to determine what the vibe of the song / album is, which is very good. So song number 4 is Carolina, which is actually from the movie adaptation of Where the Crawdads Sing. Okay, I would say Carolina is very like broody, moody, gritty and dark. Also, it doesn't have an album because it's a standalone single that she released for the soundtrack for the movie, like I just said. It's a very like lonely, isolated sounding song. She sings really primarily in her lower register. There's a lot of like moody like clouds, woods, imagery going on. Never did see me and she's in my dreams. Into the mist, into the clouds. Don't leave, I make a fist, I make it count. Carolina knows why for years they've said that I was guilty as sin and sleep in a liar's bed. The sleep comes fast and I'll meet no ghosts. It's between me, the sand and the sea. Carolina knows. So this is giving very much, it has kind of like almost like mystery thriller vibes to it, which could I be influenced by the fact that Where the Crawdads Sing does have, you know, mystery elements to it, and what this is about a girl that's being implicated in the murder of a man that she was involved with? Yes. She did write the song for that story, so it makes sense that it would tie in with those kinds of themes. So what do I have in this set? I have All the Missing Girls, which is one of the only thrillers that I really have on here. I think I have some around the back, so I'll flip it in a minute. I've been back in my thriller era because my friends Kat and Maddie actually got me a Kindle for my birthday, and I read 3 mystery thrillers in a row on that thing just because they were hitting different being on the Kindle. Like, I was having the time of my life, and so I'm kind of like in the mood for palette cleanser thrillers at the moment, and I've owned this one for so long, so it might be her time. Also, I feel like this kind of fits the vibe, like dark, gloomy, moody, just overall. It's about a girl that leaves where she's from. Her best friend's disappeared. She gets a call that her father is sick. She drops everything to care for her dad and go back home, but within days of her return, another girl goes missing and she experiences a terrifying sense of deja vu. As Nick works to unravel what happened to this missing girl, shocking truths emerge about her neighbors, her family, and what really happened to Corinne that night 10 years ago. Okay, this is giving very much mystery, very gritty, very dark, which I feel like fits. Not exactly, because it's not giving the same kind of like, you know, like overall like moodiness dorkiness, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely not the same vibe as Where the Crawdads Sing. If you've read the book, you know what I mean. No, I think this is it. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think it's the book I have that fits the best. So the story's haunting, it's dark, it's moody. I think it works. So I think we're gonna go with All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. And yeah, so book number 4. Okay, this is working better than I thought. I'm definitely having to use my brain and like analyze lyrics, but I love doing that and it's kind of working. So prompt number 5, a book with a theme or trope in common with the song. Okay, this is one of those that's going to be very difficult depending on the song. We'll see how this works, but okay, song number 5. Okay. Song number 5 is I Don't Want to Live Forever, 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack, Zayn featuring Taylor. It would be perfect if I had The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue on here still. I'm gonna look through the lyrics really quick and see what we're working with here. In terms of themes, we have maybe unrequited love or someone that's pining after a lost love. He doesn't want to live forever because he's missing the one that he loves, basically. Like, do I have anything for this? I don't know. Basically, they really want their love to come back home. They want their love to come back home. Like, do I have anything on the back? Wait. Okay. I know I just really fixated on the love aspect of that song because clearly it's like what it's about. But a theme, not wanting to live forever. Like, I just have one that fits with the title really well back here. Okay, I think I have 2 options. Here's the thing about these 2. Actually, I need to turn on the light. It's getting too dark in here. Hold on. I might have to get up and adjust the lighting again in a second because I just turned on a ring light. So we'll see. I hate that I'm doing this as the sun's going down. I love that the sun's staying out long enough for me to film a good chunk of stuff after work, but it's still not ideal. Anyways, okay, my 2 options. I don't know that I'm gonna get any closer than these 2. My first idea, which I feel like fits less well, is Illuminae, which is a young adult sci-fi novel, and the way that it's set up is at the very beginning, Katie and Ezra, who are the main characters, break up. Now, I don't know like the reason behind the breakup, but I have a feeling that one person initiated it, which if that's the case, then that would kind of make it a one-sided love themed. I think obviously they probably get back together, given that they break up at the start of the book and then they're stuck together for the entire duration of it. That doesn't entirely fit, I wouldn't say. But I would say that with that title, we introduce the theme of death, right? Life and death, I guess. Which is so broad and so vague. But I have Scythe by Neil Shusterman, which is a young adult dystopian novel in which the human race has figured out how to cheat death. They've eradicated illness, they've eradicated death. Nobody dies, except for people that are chosen to die for population control purposes. And this book follows 2 individuals that are chosen to apprentice to a scythe and basically be part of the population culling situation. They are responsible for making sure that people don't live forever. And I think I'm gonna choose this one. I think if we really delve into the meaning of the song, obviously this doesn't fit perfectly, but I think if we just base it purely off the theme introduced in the title, this is perfect. So we have Scythe for song number 5. I Don't Want to Live Forever by Zayn featuring Taylor Swift. This is a very interesting TBR so far, but I'm honestly kind of loving it. Prompt number 6 is a book whose author shares a name with someone who worked on the song. So I have one very obvious option, but let me go ahead and see what the song is, and then we will pull up the team that worked on it. So song number 6 is Castles Crumbling featuring Hayley Williams. Okay, already right off the bat, great that we have a collaborator. Okay, we've actually got a lot of names to work with. Okay. So obviously we have Taylor Swift, have Hayley Williams, Jack Antonoff. Those are the 3 top credited people, obviously. So let me see. The one that I was gonna say is obvious that comes to mind immediately is I have One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor. Let's see, do I have any Hayley or William? Do I have Jack? Okay, well, so I do think my only option is the obvious one. Wait. Okay, wait. Let me grab it. So, I actually haven't read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's part of her famous 4 like interconnected standalone situation, and I've seen the show, really enjoyed the show, needed some distance from it, but honestly, I was thinking about it earlier today, and I think I'm ready to read it. I think I'm at the point where I would like enjoy it, and it wouldn't be ruined by the fact that I have seen the show. I do want to get to One True Loves eventually. Since I already have a romance, I kind of want to throw this on there. It's kind of, is it literary fiction? I think it's considered literary fiction. It's about a fictional band called Daisy Jones and the Six. It's told completely in interview format, which I have never read a book like that. It's told from the perspective of like all the band members are being interviewed for kind of like a retrospective on their careers about how they reached peak success and then how they fell apart, like how the band broke up. It's loosely based on the Fleetwood Mac lore, and I love Fleetwood Mac. I also just feel like this is the perfect book to put on music-themed TBR, so I think I'm gonna do this one. Book number 6 is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Okay, and then this is the last one. I'm just gonna do one more. I think my camera's about to die. That is incredibly unfortunate. Let's see if I can make it through. Prompt number 7. Tie the song into a genre and pick a book of that genre. Okay, our 7th song is New Year's Day. Definitely a love song, definitely a romance. I have 3 romance rom-com-y vibe, but I already have a Taylor Jenkins Reid book on there, so I don't want to do One True Loves. But there is another one that's sort of calling my name. I was really hoping that I was gonna get a debut song to use to link to this in some way, but honestly this works equally as well because this is still, it's a love song. New Year's Day is a love song at the end of the day. At the end of the day, she'll be cleaning up bottles with you on New Year's Day, okay? She wants it to be you. I think I'm actually gonna do Flawless by LC Silver. I just bought this. Post-birthday haul. I actually went back to the Ripped Bodice with my friend Brielle, and I used my gift card that I got from a friend to purchase another book, and it was this one. I am very excited to get to my first cowboy romance. Sorry, my camera died and then I had to fix the lighting and I actually don't know what I've already said, so let me run it back. I have been itching to get to a cowboy romance. I want to get to a cowboy romance so bad, and I was hoping that I was gonna get a debut song that I could somehow tie to country music and therefore get Flawless by LC Silver. I was scheming. So this is the first book in the Chestnut Spring series, which is like an interconnected romance series. I think each book follows a different brother or somebody like close to the family. And in this one, Rhett Eaton is the face of professional bull riding. The golden boy, or at least he was until it all blew up in his face after a public brawl. Now his agent says that he has to clean up his image and sticks Rhett with his ball-busting daughter for the rest of the season as full-time supervision. Rhett doesn't need a babysitter, okay? Especially one with skin-tight jeans, a sexy smirk, and a mouth she can't stop running. Says there are boundaries they shouldn't cross, that Rhett's reputation can't take any more hits, and neither can her damaged heart. Rhett says he's gonna steal it anyways. Like, yeah, I fear I'm gonna eat this up. I actually really fear I'm gonna eat this series up. There's something about like this kind of book that really just, like when you're in the mood for it, it hits. It really, really hits. Anyways, this is going to be book number 7, which actually closes out our TBR. I honestly am kind of like shocked at the songs that I got. I can't believe I got 2 soundtrack songs. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay, anyways, let me run it back through the books we ended up with, and then we'll discuss whether or not this was a good way to pick my TBR. For a book that relates to one of the song's lyrics, we have Something Borrowed by Emily Giffin for Betty. I'm still not thrilled about, but it's what we have. For a book with the same number of words in its title plus Shake It Off, we have Chain of Gold. A book cover with elements that relate to the song's imagery, we have The House in the Cerulean Sea for Invisible String. For a book that matches the vibe of the song or album, we have All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda for Carolina. For a book with a theme or trope in common, we have Scythe by Neil Shusterman for I Don't Want to Live Forever. For a book whose author shares a name with someone who worked on the song, we have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Oh, for Castles Crumbling. And then for tie the song into a genre and then pick a book of that genre, we have Flawless by LC Silver for romance and New Year's Day. Look at that. So this is my April TBR, 7 books. I'm gonna try my hardest to get to these in April. I did not do a very good job of it in March, but I mean, I feel like this is a good spread of books that I'm super excited for and also have kind of like forgotten about. So it's kind of good to like have this kind of like spread to pick from. I feel like my last month's TBR was heavy on the fantasy, so anytime I wanted something mindless, I felt like I didn't want to pull from my TBR, but this has a good spread of like palette cleansers and like brain power ones, I feel like. Honestly, it just feels like a lot of books that I'm really gonna blow through and really enjoy. So that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I kind of love that for me. Anyways, this was a very interesting experiment. I definitely would love to play around with this concept a little bit more. I think it's really fun to have like songs pick your TBR. It's just kind of a difficult concept to execute successfully. I mean, I'd say this was a success. I think there was only like 1 or 2 that I really felt like I was like bending the meaning to make it fit. Something Borrowed with Betty is definitely the one that I'm the most like, the only thing in common is infidelity. Whatever, you get it. You literally get it. It's a tricky concept. It was something new and something fun, and I still got to use a TBR jar, even though it was a Taylor Swift specific mug. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you have any suggestions for how to like tweak this and do it a little bit differently next time. So I honestly would love, maybe not next month, but I would love to do this again. Anyways, okay, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and, you know, sticking around while you watched my brain cells work in real time to try and make this a fun and logical video. It means a lot. It means a lot that you made it this far if you did. So anyways, thank you guys so much and I will see you in the next one. Bye.